this video, I'm summarizing Huberman's talk with David Goggins. David Goggins is a former Navy SEAL, an ultramarathon runner, ultra-distance cyclist, and triathlete. He is known for holding Guinness World Record for pull-ups, completing 4,030 in 17 hours. But his journey wasn't easy. He once weighed 300 pounds. He was so big that he couldn't wash himself. He struggled with basic hygiene, and as he put it, he needed help just to wipe his ass. Goggins shared, "I used to lie, be an asshole, just to seek attention." Goggins realized he needed to change his life. He decided to push himself to do hard things. He's now a paramedic and a smoke jumper, which means he parachutes into wildfires to fight fire. This is a very tough job. He's breathing soot and smoke and jumping out of airplanes and landing so hard on the ground that it injures his knees. Goggins embodies the idea of embracing discomfort and building mental toughness. Goggins has a key concept that he calls the mental medicine cabinet, which means he keeps memories of past hardships and success stories to remember through hard times. During the brutal Hell Week of Navy SEAL training, where candidates endure continuous physical activity, cold water, heavy loads, and minimal sleep, Goggins relied on remembering past experiences to get through. Goggins also faced severe health issues. He had multiple heart surgeries due to a congenital defect, which causes fatigue and breathlessness. These surgeries were significant setbacks, but instead of giving up, he used them to strengthen himself mentally. Avoiding comfort is central to Goggins' philosophy. He participated in ultra-endurance events like 100-mile races to push his physical and mental limits. He's working as a smoke jumper despite the physical toll it takes and multiple knee surgeries he had to do. This is all about commitment to continuously pushing his limits and avoiding complacency. Goggins talks about friction, the internal and external resistance people face when trying to achieve their goals. He believes that friction is essential for growth and we should embrace it. His daily training routine is tough, which he calls it as dialing the friction up to 10. Goggins explained, most people are missing something because they don't know who they are. Even though they have a great family and enough money, they feel like they're missing something. This is because there's so much potential trapped in them that they have not yet unlocked, because they just didn't want to find their willpower, their determination, and their courage. He also says when people think they're done, they're usually only at 40% of their potential. He calls this the 40% rule. Goggins says that willpower is something within you, that you have to wake it up, and usually the only person who can wake it up is yourself. Huberman supports this point, explaining from a neuroscience perspective that there is a specific part of the brain associated with willpower. This area grows bigger when people do things they don't want to do. This means you build willpower by pushing yourself to do the things you resist, especially by moving your body when you don't feel like it. This means it's not that you first have the willpower and then go for a workout. Rather, you first go for the workout you didn't want to go for, and then this builds your willpower. So don't wait for the willpower to take action. Also, this can go both ways. The willpower and the associated area in the brain can shrink. It shrinks if you avoid those things, if you get too comfortable. Willpower is a skill, and is a perishable one that needs constant rebuilding. And by the way, there's a free way to support my work, and that is by subscribing. Goggins continued to say that he had 2 heart surgeries and multiple knee surgeries. And after every surgery, he was told, you can't run again. He said people think it's about running, but for him, it was never about running. He mentioned that he hates running more than anything else, which was surprising to me. But he says running for 300 miles, which takes over 70 hours with no sleep, is not enjoyable. He doesn't do it because he enjoys it. He does it for the willpower for the mental toughness. Huberman agreed and shared that he has a friend who has been sober for 30 years from alcohol. And this friend said this amazing thing about addiction. There's a cure, but it only works one day at a time. You have to renew it every day, which again talks about growing willpower one day at a time by doing the things you don't want to do. Huberman also talked about what it is like to be obese, mentioning one of his friends who has dealt with this. He explained that being obese often means dealing with poor health, struggling to put on clothes, and not being able to walk as long. Goggins said when he was at 300 pounds, attempting to lose weight, this caused more depression and hunger, and there was no dopamine, there was no feel-good hormones. And this created a vicious cycle and a lot of setbacks. Huberman then asked what he would say to people facing similar issue that he had. And I'm quoting him here. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake that up is you. And this is the harsh reality of life. You have to explore what do you really want out of life. And he means find that little flame in you, and you are the only one who can save yourself. He has trained 99% of his life alone. There's no pat on the back when he runs 300 miles alone. He says many people are looking for that pat on the back. Stop looking for others' validation, encouragement, motivational speeches, and gym buddies or accountability coach. Instead, find that little flame, rely on yourself, and build your own willpower. I hope this summary was helpful, and I see you in the next one.